Let's take an issue you and I care a lot about, the COVID lockdowns. I had a couple of years ago in the middle of them. DC was proposing, the DC school district was proposing throwing out of school any child that was not vaccinated. And at the time, if I remember correctly, it was something like 40% of the African-American students in DC were not vaccinated. So I'm talking about literally throwing out.
Those Californians, they just cannot stop being racist.
40% of the kids at public school. And so I had a vote on the Senate floor to say, look, they can't throw kids out of school for this. And we ended up having a big argument. And part of the argument was home rule, where there was, and Susan was the most vocal Republican. That's like, no, we have to let DC run. And I'm like, why? Constitution gives us the power to do it. And it ended up, by the way, every single Democrat, all of them, voted in favor of the DC public schools being able to throw out 40% of the black kids from school. And I said, look, you throw it.
Of course they did. Of course they did. Really quick, guys, could you do me a huge favor and share the video? It does not even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling YouTube, I want more people to see this, they will show it to more people. Shout out to Box in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am no Tucker fan, but he freaking jumped off the top rope on Lion Ted. Indeed, he did. Indeed, he did. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party.
Schools being able to throw out 40% of the black kids from school. And I said, look, you throw a kid out of school, you got a 14, 15-year-old boy, you throw him out of school, you know what's going to happen next. He's going to join a gang. He's going to engage in crimes. He's going to engage in drugs. He could be dead within 5 years.
And that's not necessarily a racial thing, but, you know, we see the trends in different types of environments.
If that kid doesn't get an education, and the Democrats were more than happy to say, we don't care. Right now, our religion is get the vaccine or to hell with you.
But can you see, I mean, once again, I couldn't agree with you more, but can you feel the frustration of people, including your voters, every American, at the emphasis on foreign countries and the threat we supposedly face, a lot of which is fake, obviously, over the kind of slowly unfolding tragedy of what's happening to our country? The dollars spent, the aid packages to Ukraine to pay the retirement of civil servants in a country that we have nothing to do with, the endless support for Israel, very expensive, when people are literally buying groceries on credit in the United States. Can you feel like it's nothing against Ukraine or Israel or any other country?
All right, let's stop. You said the support for Israel, very expensive.
And going back to Don, where is he looking? He's not looking at Tucker. He's looking off to his left. It's not a direct science, but you can tell he's about to bullshit.
You feel like it's nothing against Ukraine or Israel or any other country.
All right, let's stop. You said the support for Israel, very expensive. How much support do we give to Israel?
Well, you tell
too much.
Tell me, you vote for it.
Yeah, it's about $3 billion a year is the military assistance.
Is that the only assistance?
Yeah, we just have military assistance. Israel does not have additional assistance. There's an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, and it's $3 billion a year.
So what is it costing to support the bombing campaign to protect Israel right now from Iran?
So I don't know right now, but I'll tell you this. Let's go back to the touchstone on foreign policy, American interest. Our support, our military support for Israel is massively in America's national security
interest,
what does it
cost?
It benefits us enormously.
Well, before we can make independent judgments about whether or not that's true, and I'm certainly open to it, I think we need to know what it costs. So what's the annual cost of defending Israel? Do you know?
$3 billion a year.
No, that's the aid, but I mean, the cost.
That's just the cash that we give them. What is the cost of actually, the whole enchilada? Shout out to Cato99. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said, would every one of the Qatari AIPAC funded actors are under the control of the same entity simulation? Yep, they're all in the same club. All of them. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party.
Defending Israel, do you know?
$3 billion a year.
That's the aid. But I mean, the cost of the weapons, for example, the cost of U.S. personnel there, the cost of moving ships to the region, which we're doing right now, the cost of moving tankers to the region, all of that. Do we know what the cost is?
So look, the last week, I don't know. And there's some lag when the administration.
But I'm totally in favor of it. I have no idea how much it costs, but I'm totally in favor of it.
Administration under the Constitution, the commander-in-chief has control of the armed forces. And so President Trump has.
It's almost like there's a whole bunch of corruption when it comes to foreign aid.
The administration under the Constitution, the commander-in-chief has control of the armed forces. And so President Trump has made some decisions that we'll know the cost over time, but I don't know the last week. I don't have visibility on that. The annual cost is $3 billion. It's a 10-year memorandum of understanding, and that's the principal driver of the cost. But let me make a point. We get massive benefits from Israel. Israel shares.
Do it all!
The Mossad is one of the best intelligence sources on the planet. The enemies of Israel, the people who hate Israel, they all hate us. It's almost a perfect overlap. And so,
yeah, why do you think that is? Because they hate us for our freedoms? Is that what we're going on? They hate us for our freedoms, guys. There's nothing to do with all of these regime change wars that you're in favor of, that you can't articulate why and have no idea how much it will cost. Nah, they hate us for our freedoms.
People who hate Israel, they all hate us. It's almost a perfect overlap. And so if we tried to recreate, if we're just trying to defend America, we tried to recreate the national security benefits of our alliance with Israel, it would cost, I don't know, 30 billion, 300 billion.
So can you elaborate? And again, I'm going into this as someone who's always liked Israel and still does. But I also think at this point, given where we are, it's fair to ask rational questions about what the benefits are.
Good.
So does Mossad share all of its intelligence with us?
Oh, probably not, but they share a lot. We don't share all of our intelligence with them, but we share a lot. It's a close alliance.
Do they spy domestically in the United States?
Oh, they probably do.
Yep, John's spot on. Like, without ongoing wasteful use of our tax money to Israel, they would be nothing. They would be nothing. And like Ben Shapiro, he was like, I'm America first because Israel is the top priority. Like, shut up.
Intelligence with them, but we share a lot. It's a close alliance.
Do they spy domestically in the United States?
Oh, they probably do, and we do as well. And friends and allies spy on each other.
Oh, well, you know.
And I assume all of our allies spy on us.
And that's okay with you?
You know what? One of the things about...
You could have easily said no, but it's, part of, intelligence, blah, 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 blah. And I say, you know what? I'm not sure I'm against other countries spying on us. I'm not sure.
I assume all of our allies spy on us.
And that's okay with you?
You know what? One of the things about being a conservative is that you're not naive and utopian. You don't think humans are all... Part of the reason socialism doesn't work is the mantra from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs doesn't work. As a conservative, I assume people act in their rational self-interest.
So it's conservative to pay people to spy on you?
It's conservative to recognize that human beings act in their own self-interest, and every one of our friends spies on us. And I'm not...
Do you like it? That's my question. I'm not asking whether they have motive to do it. Of course they do. I understand that. And by the way, I'm not mad at them. But you're an American lawmaker, so I just want to know, hold on, I want to know your attitude. Yeah. You said that your guiding principle, in fact, the only principle, the only criterion...
I said guiding, the overwhelming, I wouldn't say only.
Is it in America's interest? Is it in America's interest for Israel to spy on us, including on the president?
It is in America's interest to be closely allied with Israel because we get huge benefits for it. And you want to see the clearest...
But I just want to stop on the spying for a second. That it takes place, as you know, and including on the president of the United States and several presidents. And I just want to know if that's okay and why is it okay? Wouldn't an American lawmaker say to a client state, you're not allowed to spy on us? I'm sorry. I know why you want to. I'm not mad at you, but you're not allowed to.
Sure.
And I don't care for it. I don't want to be spied on by you. Is that... It's kind of weird not to say that, but you don't seem able to say that.
Sure, I would say don't spy on us. They're going to anyway. And by the way, the Brits are, the Canadians are. Like, I don't think...
Well, I'm not for that at all. Okay. I think it's disgusting. But we don't actually pay their... we're not their most meaningful sponsor. We're not sort of paying for the operations of the British government.
I got to say, and this is... It's weird.
Weird. Shout out to Box News. Welcome to the party. Yeah, never go full Ziegler. Weird. The prince isn't going to save the princess. Shut up.
Sort of paying for the operations of the British government.
I got to say, and this is, it's weird. We're talking about isolationists, the obsession with Israel. Why is Israel...
Oh, I don't think I'm obsessed with Israel.
Okay, but I think a lot of people are. And like the question, Israel spies on us. Well, so does every other country. Why are you mad at Israel?
I guess, no. I'm
That's a weird straw man. I think if you ask, are you okay with Russia spying on you? Are you okay with China spying on you? Are you okay with Argentina spying on you? The answer would be no. But we're not giving billions of dollars to those countries to fight wars. That's why.
I'm hardly the one I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
So AIPAC raises a lot of money for me, but
that wasn't an answer.
It's actually a misnomer because the people who raise money are individuals. Right. So it's not the PAC itself, but they're individual members who believe in the American-Israeli friendship and relationship.
Is AIPAC a foreign lobby?
No, it's an American lobby. It's the...
Is it though?
AIPAC stands for the America-Israeli Political Action.
What does it lobby for?
So, to be honest, not a whole.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Just money for Israel. That would be a yes.